An old man in dark sunglasses sits in his office in Italy. A billionaire walks in, checkbook ready, begging to buy one of his cars. The old man looks at him with cold eyes and says one word: no. The billionaire offers more money, double, triple, whatever it takes. The old man doesn't even blink. "I don't sell cars," he says. "I sell dreams, and you're not worthy of this dream." His name was Enzo Ferrari, and he built the most legendary brand in automotive history by doing one thing nobody else dared to do. He said no to money. 1. The boy who loved Speed Modena, Italy, 1898. Enzo Ferrari was born into a world of metal and machines. His father owned a small workshop, fabricating metal parts for railways. But Enzo, he didn't care about railways. He cared about one thing: speed. When he was 10 years old, his father took him to watch his first automobile race in Bologna. While other kids were playing with toys, Enzo stood there, hypnotized by the roaring engines, the smell of fuel, the drivers risking their lives for glory. That day, something awakened inside him. It wasn't about cars, it was about passion, about pushing limits, about the beautiful dance between man and machine at impossible speeds. He turned to his father and said, "I'm going to be a race car driver." His father laughed. They were poor. Racing was for rich men, aristocrats, people with connections. But Enzo didn't care about obstacles. He only cared about speed. By age 20, tragedy struck. His father died. Then his brother died. World War I was tearing Italy apart. Enzo served in the military, got sick, nearly died himself. Most people would have given up on dreams after that. Enzo got more obsessed. 2. The Driver, 1919. At 21 years old, Enzo finally got his chance. He became a test driver, then a race car driver for a small company. He wasn't the most talented driver, he wasn't the fastest, but he had something else. He had fire. He raced through the 1920s, winning some races, crashing in others. But every time he sat in that car, every time he pushed the engine to its limit, he learned something. He learned that racing wasn't just about the driver, it was about the machine. The engine, the weight distribution, the aerodynamics, every tiny detail mattered at 150 miles per hour. But here's what separated Enzo from other drivers. He started building cars, not just driving them. In 1929, he founded Scuderia Ferrari, not to make money, not to sell cars to the public, but to race. He built race cars for one purpose: to win, to be the fastest, to dominate. And here's where Enzo's philosophy started forming. He didn't care about comfort. He didn't care about practicality. He cared about performance. Pure, uncompromising, beautiful performance. 3. The philosophy. After World War II, Italy was destroyed. The economy was shattered. People needed affordable transportation. Enzo Ferrari, he started building the most expensive, impractical, uncomfortable cars imaginable. People told him he was insane. Make cars people can afford, make them practical. Enzo refused. He said something that defines everything about Ferrari. "I don't sell cars, I sell dreams." Think about what that means. He wasn't in the transportation business. He wasn't even in the automobile business. He was in the emotion business. Every Ferrari was built for one feeling, the feeling of being alive. The feeling when you push the accelerator and the engine screams and your heart pounds, and for one moment, you're not just a person anymore, you're a legend. Enzo only made a few hundred cars a year, sometimes less. People begged him to increase production. You could make millions. He said no, because scarcity wasn't a business strategy, it was a principle. If everyone could have a Ferrari, it wouldn't be a dream anymore, it would just be a car. 4. The obsession. But here's the thing about obsession, it costs you everything. Enzo Ferrari was not a nice man. He was cold, ruthless, controlling. He manipulated his drivers, playing them against each other. He fired engineers who disagreed with him. He rejected customers who he thought weren't worthy. His personal life was a disaster. His marriage was complicated. His son Dino, who he was grooming to take over the company, died at age 24. That loss broke something in Enzo. After Dino's death, he always wore dark sunglasses, not for style, to hide his grief. He poured all his pain into racing, into winning, into building faster, more beautiful, more perfect machines. Drivers died racing his cars, multiple times, and Enzo kept pushing them harder. People called him a tyrant, a monster, obsessed with winning at any cost. And they were right. But here's what they didn't understand. Enzo wasn't obsessed with winning for ego, he was obsessed with perfection, with creating something so beautiful, so powerful, so pure that it transcended metal and rubber and fuel. He wanted to build art that could go 200 miles per hour. 5. The legend. Today, Ferrari is worth over $50 billion. A single vintage Ferrari can sell for $70 million at auction. But here's what's crazy. Enzo didn't care about any of that. He famously said that road cars, the ones he sold to customers, were just a necessary evil to fund his real passion, racing. Every dollar from selling road cars went back into the racing team, into making faster engines, better aerodynamics, winning championships. He turned down massive buyout offers. He refused to mass produce. He rejected customers regularly. In 1969, he almost sold to Ford. The deal was done, millions of dollars. Then, at the last second, Ford wanted control of the racing division. Enzo walked away from the entire deal. They offered him everything, and he said no because they wanted to touch his dream. That's not stubbornness, that's faith. Faith that what you're building matters more than money, more than comfort, more than safety. The lesson. Enzo Ferrari died in 1988 at age 90. He never saw the internet, never saw smartphones, never saw the modern world. But his philosophy, it's more relevant now than ever. We live in a world obsessed with scaling, growth, profit margins, reach. Everyone wants to make their product cheaper, faster, accessible to everyone. And Enzo Ferrari stands as a reminder that there's another way, the way of obsession. The way of saying, this is what I believe in and I will not compromise. He didn't sell cars to make money. He made money to fund his obsession. He didn't build for the masses. He built for the dreamers. He didn't care if you liked him. He cared if you understood passion. And that's the lesson. When you truly believe in something, when you're genuinely obsessed with excellence, you don't chase customers. They chase you. You don't lower your standards to fit the market. You create the market. You don't sell products. You sell dreams. Because here's what Enzo proved. People don't really want affordable and practical, not deep down. They want extraordinary. They want something that makes them feel. They want to be part of something legendary, and they'll pay anything for it. They'll wait years for it. They'll beg for the privilege of owning it. So the question isn't whether you can sell more by compromising. The question is, what's your dream? And are you willing to protect it even when the world tells you to sell out? Because in the end, Enzo Ferrari didn't build the most valuable car brand by being smart. He built it by being unreasonable, by refusing to sell cars when he could have been rich, by choosing dreams over dollars, by believing that perfection matters more than profit. And that's why, decades after his death, people still whisper his name with reverence, not because he was successful, but because he was legendary.